Joe Biden dropped out. Joe Biden is gone. Your thoughts? Was that a wise decision?
I don't think anybody over the age of 50 should be in any type of office whatsoever.
Okay, 50 is a little too young because you can't.
That means
you
you're
can't
born
run until
in
you're president until you're 40.
That means you were born in. Oh, that they should change that then.
So what
Because
age?
if you're 50 right now, that means you was born in 1970. That was around.
Like 74, but yeah, in the 70s.
Okay, around there.
Okay.
Like I like that age gap. You get things. You don't have that same mentality of segregation.
So if you think if you're 55, no.
Nah. I'd be like, I'm
So what's
cool.
the youngest age someone should be able to run for the office of presidency?
35,
So you have
34,
between
35.
35 and 50.
Yes, that's a perfect gap for me.
And I think some people like the idea of
Just because
older.
they get things
But what about
nowadays.
experience? So you turn 18, say not everyone sets a perfect track right at 18, they go to college for political science. Say they don't do that. And some politicians do. They don't dive right into politics, Donald Trump, immediately. You know, they kind of ease their way into it. And then by the time they're
Ronald
55,
Reagan?
it's like the actor. So it's like you work your way into it. Do you think that cutting it off at 50 is, because a lot of Americans are older than 50, by the way, right? So their voice still needs to be represented. No.
Nah, I'm okay. If you were alive during segregation or during that time of a heavy, overly out loud oppression, even if you were getting oppressed or you were doing the oppressing, I'm okay. Because
So an older black, so technically what you're saying is Obama wouldn't have been able to run his second term.
wasn't he 44? Oh, his second term.
His second term. Because
nah.
you're saying after 50, which means he was in his 50s.
He was.
So you're saying no.
I would have said no.
I mean, he was not a good president. So
I was just about to say that.
No,
Like,
he definitely wasn't a good president. But I'm saying,
But age-wise,
still,
we're going off age-wise.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, nah, I'm
I
okay.
mean, I definitely would say that over 70 is a no, right?
Yeah.
Unless you're going into your second term and you'll be done by 70 or 71, 72. I don't like to put strict age numbers, but I mean, you can still be sharp at 70.
I don't know,
Your grandma's
bro.
sharp.
Yeah, but she also has that older person mentality. Like, yeah, she's very, very smart, very, very intelligent. It's just something she won't go for. Like the older generation, they don't dream like we do. They work hard, but they don't dream like we do. We have different dreams. We have different goals that we chase. I was actually just talking. My bad. This is a side bar. I was just talking to my grandpa, and I was like, when you were my age, like or younger, fresh out of high school, what would you have done? He was like, wherever was hiring, wherever was giving me the most money. Grandpa, what is your dream? What was your dream? I just want to take care of my family.
Well, we kind of missed that mentality to a degree.
They didn't really have that. They didn't get the chance to have dreams. They didn't get a chance to have equal mentality, more like we do now.
Well, some did, some didn't, right?
I think most didn't. I think most didn't.
I think statistically, when we look at some people and how they advance, no matter their color, but even if we want to say black people specifically, there were black people that achieved their dreams, whether that was in entertainment, the political sphere, architecture, design. There were black people that achieved their dream. I'm gonna keep it real, some do decide to settle. And that's still happening today. We went to school with people that got pregnant at 18, 19, 20, and now their goal, thank God, is to just take care of the family. So they're not dreaming big, right? And that's their right. At least you're taking care of your family. Right. So even your awesome grandpa, it's like he took care of the family. That's most important. Right. But people like me, delaying having children, may not have them at all, to achieve that goal, as some did in previous generations. So to say that, just because you were older and you didn't have that dream vision, a lot did. So to cut off an entire group just because of a number is not really fair, when some were probably doing great work, definitely doing great work. 60s, 70s, 80s.
Most definitely some out, but I still would say most didn't, bro. Most didn't. Most black people didn't even get the chance to dream. We're a very oppressed race in this
Now I'll say
country.
this. Now you might want to say they had the opportunity to dream, but their dreams weren't fulfilled. And I still don't really agree with that.
Or they weren't given the tools for it to be fulfilled.
But they still did dream. MLK had a dream. I mean, the game has a song, Aaliyah had a dream, left, I had a dream, so I reach out to Kanye and
like all these people you're bringing up for examples are younger people. They're not older people.
Okay.
Give me
they'd be older now.
Give me
Aaliyah would be in her 40s. Left eye would be in her 40s.
40s.
But
What
I'm
did-
saying,
what did I say?
But by the time
50s and
they'd reach
60s.
their second term, they'd probably be in their 50s, and you'd cut them off.
No second term.
Now, that's not fair. A lot of people, we want a two-peat if you're a great leader. There's not a lot of great leaders. That's why the majority of our presidents have been trashed. If you can get a great leader, I can't really think of one president who deserved 2 terms because none of them
I was gonna say, like,
have been
who's
very effective.
a great leader?
Well, there has
So
not really
cut
been
it
a
out
great
until
president.
it's proven. Cut it out until
you're
I
saying
see
just keep one term.
a great leader. Cut that out. You're 1 term until you've shown
I'll
improving
actually go
yourself.
with you on that. I'll actually go with you on that. Okay. One
But
term.
it's just my thought.
But I still even think the presidents, some that we have had, were better than some.
Yeah.
So-
Lincoln freed the slaves, but he
was a mess.
We still had laws against us. He still had his side pieces.
Yep. And Lincoln is credited with saying this is a true fact. WhiteHouse.gov it. He literally said he would have rather kept slavery and preserved the Union than had to break out into a civil war and end slavery. So he was definitely feeling that whites were superior.
Regretted it.
But let's move forward a little in the same vein, technically, of ages and politics and things like that. So Biden dropped out. You're saying it's good he did, I guess, because you want 50 to be the cutoff.
I do.
Now Harris, who I believe is older than 50, actually. She might be like 52, 53. I'm not sure.
She's probably like even older than that, dog.
Maybe 56. She's definitely not older than 60.
No,
Definitely.
she's not. But like
Definitely
she's
not.
like
So
I would say
she's
mid
older
or
than
high 50s.
Probably. So what do you think about her
My
replacing Biden?
opinions changed on her. So at first my opinion was, oh, she's a rap groupie. She puts a lot of black people in jail, which I mean she does though. But they also kind of like, I don't want to say they deserve to be in jail. It's just
There's proof that she put in some innocent black people in jail. There's proof.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I
We
wasn't
can look it
talking
up
about
after.
that. I was talking about like
Those that deserved it.
no, I was talking about like those weed charges that like you're supposed to get a year. With Kamala Harris, you get like 5.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, you
That's not right.
But you kind of knew where you was at. Weed is really a recreational drug that you shouldn't be using.
If you broke the law at that time, but I don't like how you could be white and commit the crime and get a year, or you could be black and get 5.
Very true.
And Kamala could have put in some effort to make sure that didn't happen.
That is very true. Very true.
Your past matters because they love attacking Trump over the grab him by the area comments and all Mexicans are rapists, and even though he never said that. But things that Trump has done in the past, they love throwing that against him. So I think with Kamala, it's only fair to throw the past in her face.
But the past ain't right because remember I just said I thought she was a groupie.
Yeah.
Because she was with Montel
Yes.
Williams. He was walking on the red carpet holding another girl's hand.
Yep. Well, that was his daughter.
I was just about to say that because
Okay.
on X it was like that's his daughter. Montel Williams is an ex-Marine from like 14 years. He just happened to have a TV show.
Yeah.
I didn't know all this stuff. I'm like, oh, bro's famous on TV. That's his girlfriend. He got 2 girls. Oh, okay. Like she's just another girl. Like, and she just arrests people heavily.
Yeah.
But now I'll vote for her because she's black and a black
You're
woman.
only gonna vote for her because she's a black woman.
Yes, but I don't know politics like that.
So do you think it would be wiser to make a more informed vote by doing a little research than just because she's a black woman? A lot of black people regret, mainly black believers in Jesus Christ, regret voting for Obama.
But isn't the only 2 choices Kamala or Donald Trump?
Right?
I'll go for the black person. Like I'll go for the black person every time.
Okay,
bro.
so you're
And that's like I would say that's reverse
but
racism.
see, but that's a little different. So now you're saying because you have 2 evils, technically some would say that are you voting for Kamala because she's a lesser of 2 evils, or just because she's black?
It would be just because she's black.
So if
I wouldn't
policies
know if
match
she's
more
lesser
with your
than evil.
beliefs, your faith, what have you, it would still be forget my beliefs and my faith. I'm just voting for her because she's black.
What is Trump's policies? He wants to give us money and make money.
Isn't that a good thing?
Somebody got to pay that money
If he
back
wants us
eventually, bro.
But if it ain't you or me, but
Eventually, we're going to get taxed some more.
think about it. But Democrats have never been for really like lessening taxes. If anything, they said tax the rich more, so then they can pay more. But our taxes haven't gone down significantly. They haven't.
They haven't.
Under Biden, under Obama. Trust me, I've been paying them. My taxes have
We
not
have
been-
to.
Oh my
No,
gosh, thanks
we
Obama.
have to pay
Thanks,
them.
Biden. We have to. Which I don't actually mind paying taxes because if not, then a lot of educators wouldn't get paid. Police officers, some don't deserve to get paid. You demon that murdered Sonia Massey. But some do obviously deserve to get their pay. So our taxes pay for any public civil servants, right? So taxes are a good thing to some regard. We're kind of socialist in that regard. But in terms of Kamala, those that are, many are agreeing with you that they're just going to vote for her because she's black is awful.
Obama Part 2.
It's terrible. It's Obama Part 2, and look at some of the
even
damage
good.
that Obama has done, especially to the black community. Because when you do nothing and you're in that position of power, it actually hurts when you do nothing.
Yeah.
It hurts.
It does.
Yep.
It
Even
does.
for the image of it, you know.
It does.
So I can't say, now me personally, I'm not voting for either one, right? So a lot of people
why?
are, well, a lot of people are saying there are independent parties. So if you look at Dr. Cornel West, for example, a very educated, enlightened black guy who knows both parties are trash, Democrat and Republican. He's a third party. There's a bunch of other people too who, some people are like, but that's a waste of your vote because the Congress, the House of Representatives is Republican and Democrat, and they're not going to leave because you get an independent.
You got to get a lot of votes for an independent.
Exactly.
Basically.
Exactly. You'd really have to like change the world,
like
not just America.
A couple
the
billion.
Yeah,
votes.
you would need
versus
people from other countries
versus this 3 million and this 2 million.
Yeah, it's not going to be enough, and that's why people are going to agree with you and be like, oh, so I'm going to just vote for Kamala. But Kamala, this is what I believe. I totally 100% believe Kamala's going to lose. And that's because she's a black woman. Black women have never been respected in this country. So to think that even some of these Democrats who are smiling in your face, like Malcolm X couldn't stand Democrats. He couldn't stand liberals. He preferred technically the racist whites who were at least honest. You prefer me to be straight up and honest to you.
Yeah, tell me you don't like
than to have a knife behind. I love you. And that's what Democrats have done in many ways, right? Republicans are trash too now, because I'm not supporting Reagan was not good, but they're upfront. It's like, look, we don't like you, but this is what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, I get you.
You know what I'm saying? I would much rather you, even if it was like, John, I just don't like you. I'd be like, I respect that. I would like you, John, and then you go talk behind my back, steal my girl.
No,
like
I don't know how to move.
You know, yeah. Anyway, it's just to me, it's sad that people make the decision of who they're going to vote for just based off race or based off a party, and they don't educate themselves.
But that's very true, and I agree 100%. But what about that little black girl that might see her first black woman president and might actually want to make some change and actually starts working hard and doing something and making a change?
And I love that.
It's like what
the
sparks it.
representation, but that could be done just by her running. She does not have to win for that sweet little black girl to be inspired to do that.
That is very
She doesn't have to
true.
win.
But I'm more inspired if you win.
You can be, or
I'm
how
definitely
about
more
this?
inspired
How
if
about
you
this?
win.
How about you have people not even on that level? You have people in your own community who inspire you. I wasn't inspired by Obama. My dad is the one that inspired me. My bishop is the one that inspired me. Some of my peers,
you guys,
wasn't many of them, but some of my peers in school, I was like, dang, I love this dude. I'm looking up to him. He's my age, but he's a role model.
I'm not gonna lie, you got some great people. Like your
You know what I'm
dad is the top of the top.
Look at that.
But it's like I want to do a show, right? I want to be like you.
Yeah.
If you don't got no like followers, no views, no none of that, yeah, you inspire me, but like,
Those people do though in the community. Those are the real MVPs. But for example, have you ever heard the name Medgar Evers?
No.
He was. There was 3 M's that were the best in the '60s. Malcolm, you know Malcolm X, Martin, MLK, and Medgar. Medgar was murdered by some evil white people in front of his family on his lawn. He did great work in his state for black people. NAACP, he was major, right? But you don't hear about him. Those are the real heroes. People still talk about Medgar Evers today, not on this huge scale like they should, but they still honor him because of what he did. He wasn't trying to be a celebrity. Neither was Malcolm or Martin, but when you're that great and however they were, good for them. But you can have influence and inspire people and have followers in your community without ever going viral.
I would actually put them into the different categories, and I would say Malcolm and Martin was trying to get their followers up too, versus a Medgar, because like I've never heard, never read.
And that's okay. We got to get educated.
We do.
Yeah,
but like all these names I do, like James Baldwin.
Yep.
He's one of he fits in that category, right?
Well, he was popular.
Like,
though.
why do I know him and I don't know Medgar?
Exactly.
Like,
well, it depends. Some people's voices were just heard better. Some people, truly, Jesus Christ just gave them a bigger platform just because of the way. Think about it. Me and you can't even explain it. Even the success of the last talk show, it can't always be pinned. It just, you either meet the right people at the right time, you're at the right place at the right time, and your message gets heard. You can't really explain it.
I disagree. I feel like God made you for who you are. Mm-hmm. You gonna be what you gonna be. Mm-hmm. The people are gonna like it if they like it. Like it's not no pick or choose, pick or choose.
No. Think about it, Walter. If MLK had just sat on the toilet all day, would he have done the "I Have a Dream"? I'm serious.
No, he wouldn't have.
So I'm saying, so the decisions you make matter, and sometimes, and it's not luck. But if it's planned out for you by God beforehand that, hey, when you go to this place, when you go to a certain high school, you're going to meet Pointer. And it's going to be like, dang, wow, that creates a friendship that lasts 10 years, right? Yeah. If you hadn't have gone there, it wouldn't have happened. That wasn't up to you, really. You didn't think 10 years in the future you'd be sitting here, right? So I'm saying Malcolm, Martin, Medgar, all those people, they made certain choices. Some got promoted and some didn't. But that doesn't mean that Medgar is any less credible or awesome than Malcolm or Martin. They all have the same purpose.
Same purpose, is just you just happen to be lesser known a little bit.
Yeah, and that's not his fault. That doesn't mean he wasn't as effective of a speaker. Just like Fred Hampton, who got murdered. He was only 20-something and got murdered in front of his wife and the unborn child at the time. And he was doing great work, right? And if he hadn't got killed, he probably would have been he was a big name, but as big of a name as
bigger. No, he would have been bigger because he was younger.
He was young. Oh yeah, and he had more time.
But already had his name was already like here.
He wasn't messing around, right? And was uniting poor white. So anyway, to go off on that, let's get back to it. So you are voting for Kamala as
I'm not voting like in real life. Like I don't vote.
That's good.
I think the last time I voted, when was our last election? I was just turning 18 or 19.
Well, technically the last one was Biden Trump, and then before that it was Hillary Trump.
Didn't vote that. Hillary Trump. I think I voted for Hillary.
Okay.
But honestly, it's because she was a woman.
Let's do this. Do you think Kamala has a chance to win?
Yeah.
Why?
She's black. That's truly why I think.
But
she has
the combo. Now,
are we talking about like actual like policies and?
No, nothing with her policy. Because a lot of people are like you and like, oh, I don't know politics, but I'm gonna just vote for Kamala.
I think if we go on politics, a lot of people are gonna vote for Trump for real. Yeah. But if we go on,
bunch of black people migrating from believing they have to vote Democrat, which is terrible, migrating to, you know what, I'm gonna switch it up and I'm actually gonna vote for Trump. Because technically, if you look on paper, even mine, my life or my bills were less under Trump. I'm not voting for Trump because either way I lose.
Gas was cheaper.
Either way I lose if I'm keeping it real.
Gas was cheaper.
Yeah, I mean a lot of things, all the price of food and stuff. I was able to take a baddie out, take it to Roots Chris. Only spent about 100, 150. Now I'm spending 300.
Grocery shopping for sure got cheaper.
Spiking.
Fruits was cheap.
Everything was cheaper.
Yeah.
Everything.
You're right. You got a point. But
and you got to think, money plays probably the most essential role in our lives in terms of taking care of business. You need it.
That's everything. If anything, you're gonna budget for yourself. You're gonna make your income. You're gonna write it down. Like that's adult things,
take care of your family.
That's how you take care of everything. Bills on this day. Bills on this day. Bills on this day. But the reason I think Kamala has a real chance is honestly just the same thing that happened with Barack.
But
like all this backing that you had, like remember they had Barack like.
Oh, it was awful.
We had to go out leave class and go in the auditorium and stuff like that. Like I'm thinking they might do the same rollout for Kamala because it would be the same situation, just she's a woman.
Now you're totally right. Some will do all of that pomp and circumstance for Kamala, and they already have. Yeah. But I'm saying in terms of the history of America, blacks are still not liked. I don't care what anybody says. I can play the video. We just had Sonia, right? And a bunch we don't know about. I always love to say that. There's a bunch of Sonias we don't know about. If that body cam hadn't been turned on, that satanic fool would have lied in a heartbeat. He would have. Okay, let me not go on a rant about cops planting everything on black. And some are guilty. I'm not saying all blacks are innocent. There are some terrible black people, like there's terrible white people. But anyway, back to the main thing. The history of this country has despised two people and two groups in particular: blacks, all blacks, and women. For Kamala to be both, technically she's not really African American black, she's Jamaican and Indian, right? But if you want to call her black,
you did your research.
Oh, I have to.
I appreciate you.
But this was old. I've done old research.
Okay,
this is from 2021 when Biden and Kamala ran against Trump, or 2020, what have you. But for her to look like a black woman, I don't care. There's so many Democrats that can't stand blacks, but they're phony. Like Malcolm X said, they're phony. Oh, I just love black people. I'm all for the rights. What have you done for me?
Hey.
What have you done? Nothing.
Shit. Snap. Since you say that, I'm not gonna lie. They actually really might. She might not get nothing just because she's she barely black, but she like
Barely.
she like an N-word, bro, like a cultured almost black. Cause like if you look at other old pictures, she looked like a black girl in the 90s and the 80s. It's like
actually cute.
You got it. Like it's the black swag, the black style, the black.
But on some ends, it's phony, Walter. It's phony. She said, this is what she said. She was on the Breakfast Club, with Charlemagne the God and all those.
Yeah.
That. She was on. This was years back. She said, I used to smoke weed in college. She went to college in the 80s.
Okay.
Guess who she said she was listening to in the 80s?
In the 80s?
Yeah. Who was she listening to? Who did she say she was listening to?
Ooh.
Yes.
In the 80s?
In the 80s. That's when she was in college.
Are we talking about hip hop 80s?
Yes.
Oh, you got LL Cool J, you got Rakim, you got
Give me two more.
NWA.
Absolutely. Give me one more. 80s rap.
80s rap. I already said L. Big Daddy Kane.
Perfect. She didn't name any of them. She named Snoop Dogg.
In the
Tupac.
80s?
Yes.
He wasn't even out in the 80s. It's Tupac.
Thank you.
When was that first?
Thank you. You can play the clip too. I'm not making this
When
up.
was that?
Have you ever smoked?
I have.
Okay. I mean, was it in college?
Uh-huh.
What were you listening to when you was high? What was on? What song was it?
Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, definitely Snoop. Tupac. For sure.
First same song
Same
feature.
song. That was in the 90s. That was 91.
So no.
Digital Underground.
Who else you
And then
say?
Snoop Dogg. His first song came out in like 91.
His first song was whatever was on the Chronic.
Well, he actually had one before that. But it wasn't as popular.
It was a movie. It was a movie soundtrack, wasn't it?
It might have been.
Yeah,
We'll look it
deep
up
cover or.
It might have been, but I sure know this is the point. She was not listening to them in the 80s.
yeah.
Even if she just made a mistake, you're supposed to be younger, sharp, little black, all that great stuff. You're supposed to be sharp.
You know what's
can't
hilarious?
be making mistakes.
Me and you, we young. We both know like our hip hop. She don't even know.
I ain't gonna trip on my hip hop.
She was alive then, and she don't even know.
And then she prosecuted people for smoking weed, yet she said she was smoking weed in college. So look at
she
that
prosecuted
dynamic
them
there.
hard, too.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So to look at your character, and Trump's
She's a
character,
hypocrite.
me and you did the top 5 worst Trump moments. He cheated on each and every wife he had. He wouldn't rent to black tenants. All these terrible things. But Kamala has an awful history too. So I think the best thing to do is look at what have they done politically. Let's forget the past, because both of them have trash records, right? So let's look at what have they done in the past 4 years, or 8, because Trump, a few years back. Under Trump's administration, there weren't any wars that the U.S. was involved in. We weren't funneling money to Ukraine.
We were threatened by Korea.
Oh, we're always threatened.
That
But
is true.
I
That is
said
true.
I said that we're like a part of.
We're always threatened. Okay.
We're always threatened because we are hateable.
We're the bullies.
Because the U.S. has done awful things.
We're the bullies, bro.
Right? We are. And we have been.
And when we go visit other countries, we're so disrespectful.
Yep.
And
Yep.
yeah,
Go
we're
stealing.
us. We're us.
And that's all. Black, white, any American.
American. It's American.
It's American.
Yeah.
Right. So I can't name to you one thing Kamala has done as VP. I can't name one. And most VPs don't do anything. And that's a valid point if you want to counter with that.
So then you got to give her the credit for what Biden's doing.
But what has Biden done?
Brittany Griner.
Oh, okay.
For the nah.
Okay.
That was a troll. That was a troll.
Oh no.
They really gave Brittany Griner up for a Russian bomber murderer.
Yeah.
I'm
Not
okay.
Not a fair trade.
It's not a fair trade whatsoever.
Not a fair
She was out there for weed. He's out here for death.
Bombing. Yeah. Killing.
Bombing.
Yeah.
No.
Not a fair trade.
No. That was a joke. That was a joke.
No,
It was
I
a
mean,
troll.
I feel it. But yeah,
But he did sign off on that though. So.
I don't know what Biden of significance has done. And I surely don't know what Kamala has done. Now, Trump, if you want to get specific.
Didn't Biden do the debt relief for college students?
That's a point for you. He definitely did.
Yeah, okay.
Right? But I technically have mixed feelings towards that.
Why?
Because to me, if you go into debt, it is your responsibility to pay it back. Just because then why did I pay for all my schooling up front, Walter? I did, which isn't fair to me now because I'm like, oh dang, Biden could have just freed it. I paid like 40, 50,000.
That is facts.
And some could bully me and be, oh, well,
That's
you
because you're on the
dumb for
other
paying
side.
it.
Nah,
You know what I'm saying? But
that's
I'm
not
like,
fair.
You made a good point earlier. You said someone's got to pay for it. You said that earlier in terms of like taxes and us getting the break. So that debt did not just disappear. USC is still going to have their money.
Yeah.
So if I had debt from
Definitely.
USC and Biden cleared it, you think that money just disappeared?
Nah, dude,
No.
it goes like to our they're probably up in their tuition
That's what
just
I'm
for
saying.
people could like honestly pay.
To counter off that,
Yeah,
but
to
then
counter
also
off.
watch our taxes go up. So we think we got student loan relief. All the government has to do. Do you know how many people are in the U.S.? We're talking about
I would probably say like
360 million, for example.
Okay,
Close enough. Close
I was
enough.
gonna say like 4 billion.
If they raise everyone's tax an extra $1, that's $360 million, right? So okay, maybe not including the children. Some of y'all want to get
And you know
not
that- and you know they
let's
wouldn't do
say
it
at
for
least-
$1.
and you know what? It's more than exactly.
It's gonna
you know
be-
it's more than $1. So look at how they can manipulate the numbers just a little and make huge profits. So just because Biden cleared the debt, that doesn't mean the money disappeared, because all those schools still have to get their money.
That's facts.
It's not just, oh, you know what? I love these people and they went to my school, so just let them slide. No, they want their money.
They're gonna get.
They're gonna get
like
their
all these
money.
institutions. They're gonna get their
They
money.
have to, because
It's
how are you
just
going to pay the workers, the
sooner
professors?
or later,
the-
it's just how we gonna split it down, break
Yeah.
it down.
So
Or
just
boosters,
so we're tied,
boosters too. Boosters come like playing a good part of that for schools.
in terms of boosters, what do you mean?
Old alumni. Or,
Yeah, and funding and giving money. Yeah, they donate a lot, mainly if you're rich and white and things like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
but that's a good thing,
it.
though. I know what you're thinking, friends. I want to watch more of his videos. Well, that's a beautiful thing. We've got this video here, which is one of my favorites. I promise you, you won't regret watching it. We also have this playlist if you just want to dive deep into what we do, or this video here, which is groundbreaking, or you can click this if you plan to subscribe, which I hope you do. So thank you for watching, folks. We've got a lot of content just for you. Hope you enjoy.